Hey fandom friends, this week's video is going to focus on DC versus Marvel movies, and I think it's pretty widely known and we've made it pretty obvious in past videos that Katie and I are huge Marvel fans, and we don't really talk too much about DC. Katie doesn't even really watch DC movies. I do happen to be a fan of some of the DC movies, and I'll talk about which movies I really have enjoyed and which have not really hit the mark for me. But if you're a DC fan, put in the comments down below and let us know what movies we should try to talk Katie into watching. I think I've talked her into watching a couple, which I'll talk about later, but I could really use y'all's help to really convince Katie that DC really deserves to be given a shot. With DC, I do want to start off with a movie that has been kind of in the headlines a lot lately, and that's Batman. My problem with Batman has been that there's been so many iterations of the Batman story and so many different actors that have played that character that it's been hard to kind of focus on one good movie. Now, I do really like the Christian Bale Batman. It has really, it feels like with Batman that DC has just been kind of throwing darts at a board and hoping that one of the darts will hit the bullseye. And I don't feel like it's really found that bullseye just yet. Okay, so another movie that I want to talk about that I'm a little bit on the fence about is Aquaman. And I really enjoyed Aquaman's storyline, but I had a hard time getting past the floating hair that's supposed to be like in the background for, because they're in underwater. I had a hard time getting past that, and every time they would show a character with their, floating hair in the background, I had to giggle, which was really tough because I really like Jason Momoa, and I thought that he made a perfect lead for that movie. He's the perfect Aquaman. And like I said, even though it was hard for me to get past that floating hair, I will still go see the next movie just because I did like the storyline and I really enjoy Jason Momoa, so can't get past that. The next movie that I want to talk about is my favorite DC movie, which happens to be Wonder Woman. And I know that there have been some people who have said that they're not really a fan of Wonder Woman just because they feel like it's the male version of what a female superhero should look like, with the types of clothes that the Amazon women wore and Wonder Woman herself, that they were very scantily clad. DC, they tend to stick to the broody superhero, the more serious storylines, and they don't really insert a lot of humor in their films, which is what I really like about the Marvel movies. But going into the movie, knowing that DC, if it's a DC film, you're going to have more of a serious storyline. With that in mind, I feel like Wonder Woman did insert a little bit of humor here and there, and it was, I feel, was successful in its humor. You guys, you can't go wrong with Chris Pine. It's Chris Pine. You look at those beautiful blue eyes and you just melt. And I'm really excited for the next one to come out. I'm really interested in seeing where they take it from here. Another person that I just love to look at and was really excited about, and I feel like he fits this superhero role perfectly, was Henry Cavill as Superman. I think that he portrays Superman really well, and he looks the part, and he's beautiful. I don't really enjoy the Justice League movies so much, like Superman versus Batman. I wasn't a fan of that. There's certain aspects of it that I don't really enjoy, but I know that there are people who do, and I'm not going to love everything that they put out. One other movie that I want to talk about is Shazam. Shazam's a different type of superhero movie. It's more on the kids side of superheroes, and I think that for what it was a really good movie. It was cute. There was some really humorous parts. Zachary Levi, you can't go wrong with Zachary Levi either. He makes such a fun superhero. I feel like he's the kids' version of Deadpool, if that makes sense. But yes, I feel like that is a really good movie, and it's one that I would take the kids to see. Not that I have any kids, but if I did, I would take my kids to see it. So for future DC movies, there is another DC movie that's coming out that I'm really looking forward to seeing, and even Katie, knowing that it's DC, I'm really shocked at this, but even Katie is like, I can't wait to see that. And it's the Joker movie that's coming out with Joaquin Phoenix. It looks like a really interesting take on the Joker, and I can't wait to see it. I have talked Katie into seeing Wonder Woman. Katie has agreed to see Wonder Woman, which is a big win for me. I even talked her, I think, into watching Shazam. I'm hoping that after she's watched a couple of DC movies that she will agree with me, and that maybe she'll broaden her horizons a little bit and start watching a little bit more DC. Thank you for watching this week's video, and if I left out any of your favorite DC movies, please put them in the comments below. If you have any comments about what I have to say or any of my opinions, let me know. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and on Twitter, because we are always posting updates there. We have some convention shenanigans for next month that we can't wait to share with you. And also click the bell at the top right, and that way you'll get notifications of any videos that we post, and we do post every Friday.